All right, we're here at Coast to Coast where perspective is everything. We are here with the beautiful Gabriella. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
We're so excited for her. How long have I been talking about this?
Minute.
Way too long. I was like, I need those curls in this podcast,
That part.
You got me
please.
on a good curl day though, for real.
I would
Is
say
it
so. I
popping?
would say so. Your curls have got mine
Thank
beat.
you.
Juan, your curls looking good today too.
We're the curl squad.
Yeah, I'm trying, I got a little
Almost there.
dark in the seat, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Okay, that's enough.
So, Gabriella, talk to us. Can you discuss any challenges or changes that you've noticed since becoming a public figure in the dating life?
Ooh. Yeah, maybe I should tell your guests like who I am. They're probably like, hey, this is nice.
Yeah, give us a little introduction.
Well, Jamal knows. I don't know if you know. I was on Bravo on Below Deck Sailing Yacht. We filmed in 2021, and then the show aired last year around
Okay,
this
cool.
time. So after that, I started getting all these followers on Instagram, and I don't really know how to use it. So I was like, what do I do? But yeah, it's been dating is not even a thing for me. My phone is dry. My roster is empty. But that's by choice. I was still talking to people last year and like dating here and there, but just nothing was the vibe. You know,
DMs are probably flooded though, right?
they are. The DMs are flooded. I did go on a date a few months ago, but with someone that said that I was their celebrity crush, that's a red flag. I wouldn't.
Wait, why is that a red flag? Isn't that like a positive thing for you? Like, oh, they have a crush on me.
Yeah, but I think it's like, okay, so you already view me as a celebrity, right? Instead of like a normal person. So is that gonna alter the way you interact with me or the version of yourself that you present? That's like I wasn't thinking about that before, but now after the way everything kind of went down, I'm like, yeah, I probably should have passed on that one.
Oh, so you went out with them?
I did.
Ooh,
Yeah.
How
how'd
did
that
it
go?
go?
Yeah.
Oh, jinx.
Well, the thing is that like I met him like in the summertime, and he was chasing for a minute, and I just never responded. I'm busy.
It's all about the chase.
My job, it takes me on the road. It's hard to maintain relationships, and like I live on a yacht and in the middle of the sea, and I wasn't interested. That's another thing. If you're not interested, then don't even bother. But
Yeah.
he seemed like a nice guy. Like he was doing the nice guy thing, you know. So
Hold on, wait. What is the nice guy
the nice
thing?
guy, like the nerdy, innocent, nice guy, and he like really played into that character. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I should date a nice guy for a change. You know?
What is your dating pool usually?
I mean, I don't really have a type, but like, I think guys with edge a little bit. Like, I don't know why I looked at you so that
Or one guy a
was
little,
intense.
or one guy a little edgy to him,
A
huh?
little bit, a little bit.
I was saying it's Moroccan. I'm like,
Ooh. It's getting a little hot in here.
no, but I don't know. Just guys that are I don't know. I date a lot of artists and like people that are creative, and we're all crazy. Like creatives are crazy, I think. Or like
Crazy in a,
passionate, kind of wild, you know.
is that like
eccentric.
crazy in a good way? You know?
Yeah, not like mentally ill. I meant like kind of wild and fun and, you know,
Yeah.
and talented. I'm attracted to talent too. So I guess that is my type.
It's a green flag, you
I
know.
think so. It inspires me, you know, when someone's really good at something and really passionate about something. I'm like,
Wait, so what do you say to guys that like aren't talented? You're just like,
everyone's talented in something,
oh,
you know, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Everyone has a talent.
I don't know. Have you met someone that just exists? Like there's nothing about them. You're like, wow, that's special.
I mean, it doesn't come to the top of my mind, but if so, then forgettable.
Right.
So,
See what I mean?
Well, what is it? Some people have talent and some people work hard. So it's like you don't
Hard
want.
work is like attractive as well, like hard workers.
Yeah.
I think, but I mean, you have to be talented. I don't know why I like some just I don't know creative people. I don't know. So this guy did have a little creativity in his career, you know. So I was like, okay. So I ignored him forever, and then I ran into him at the airport in New York. Like, how often does that happen? We're both from San Diego. I was sitting at the bar. This is when I still drank alcohol, and I was like, at the airport you can drink at any time. So I was like,
Yeah.
"Yee." And he was like, Gabby, and I was like, like that. Do I know you?
Yeah.
And he was like, it's me.
You didn't know his name?
It's me, Jessica. I'm here. And I didn't remember, but then he was like, remember we met at this person's house, like through a mutual friend? And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, well, this is fate, right? Now you gotta let me take you out, type of thing. And I was like, oh.
So y'all went out in New York?
So we went out when we got back to San Diego, like a couple weeks later. The first date, he was a gentleman, opened the door, planned the date. So, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And this is the fan, right?
Yes.
Okay,
See,
gotcha.
I don't think I like fan energy because I don't have fan energy. I never have. I can meet a celebrity that I think, oh, if I ever met this person, I would fan out, and then I meet them and I don't.
You know what they say: treat her like a fan, and she'll treat you like one.
Oh.
I've never heard that.
Well, learn something new every day.
Wow, that's insightful.
But anyway, so where'd it get weird?
Well, I kind of just feel like after our third date, he kind of ghosted a bit. And then...
So he made it to a third date?
Oh, wow.
The fan.
Yeah.
The fan
nice
made it to a
guy.
third date.
I think it was just like he laughed at all my jokes.
Oh, okay. I feel
so-
like you're kind of funny.
Oh, thank you. That's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Every now and then a blue moon, my LOL is real. So.
Oh my god, your LOLs are so dry.
How the fuck?
Lowercase.
I guess I'll voice memo
No,
it.
it's like when I read it, because I hear the person's voice in text when I read their text. So with him, I hear LOL.
Well, maybe I was actually
And we're
laughing.
always beefing in our texts. Like,
I don't know.
Like, you don't get my jokes. You're like, well, what do you mean by that? And then I don't get your jokes. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? And you're like, never mind.
Anyway, we're getting off track. Anyway,
I
back
think
to
we're both
this.
monotone and sarcastic. So in text, it's like, huh?
Am I monotone?
Nah, I wouldn't say
Yeah,
so.
see, you know what? What do you know here?
Whatever.
At coast to coast, we're far from monotone.
Definitely not.
Oh, we're upbeat and lively.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So he like kind of ghosted.
You got ghosted by a
I got
fan?
ghosted by a fan. That sounds
Wow.
really- Cue the clown music. Yeah.
That will happen.
He played the nice guy role.
He played the nice guy role.
Got in.
Got what he wanted, and then ghosted.
What do you mean got what he wanted?
My attention and time.
Oh,
And her
I
jokes.
thought-
And my
I was
jokes.
thinking like,
My presence, my essence, my
so
energy.
none of that.
I'm not gonna tell you that.
That doesn't
Oh,
mean
maybe
no.
he doesn't kiss and tell.
Oh shit! Trust me, I know about that. God.
Wait, what did I miss?
Anyway, so he goes.
He ghosted, and I think I'm a bit like stubborn, where I have to have the last word. I couldn't just be like not say anything. Just like it is what it is. His loss, I was just like, like where have you been?
Yeah.
And he gave me this like novel, like this whole diatribe about his family's going through. Don't laugh. This does not happen to me. I'm 35 years old. Like, I mean, I hate you.
It's all right.
No, you can laugh. You can laugh all you want. No, but
How you gonna laugh at a
he
woman's
was literally
feelings?
here like holding it in. Yeah, he gave me this whole like monologue about like his family going through rough times and all this stuff, and I was rolling my eyes, but I was like, I'm sorry to hear you're going through that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I get it.
What are you pointing at me for?
Because you wanted to laugh too. It's fine, it's funny.
No.
Whatever. And I think my thing is, it's not like rejection. It's not ghosting. I don't care. It's you're insulting my intelligence if you think I'm going to believe you. And to me, that's more offensive than anything else. Because it's like, I've been around the block. I'm an adult. And I'm smart as fuck. So don't try to play me by telling me some whack-ass story. Anyways, it was irritating. And I told him, well, yeah, I'm like done. And he's like, we should meet in person and talk and all this stuff. And I was like, for what?
Yeah.
For what? We dated after you literally chased me for 6 months. I gave you a chance. You ghosted. And then everything fizzled out. Like, what is there to talk about? And he's like, well, I'm like, nah, have a good life. Bye.
I will say though, as guys, we do love the chase, and especially when I was younger, I was like, you chase them, they give you what you want in a way of like attention or even a little something more, and then you're kind of like, all right, on to the next. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that's from a fan. I feel like it's a little different. It's
Yeah,
like,
100%.
it doesn't
Well,
sound like
he's
him being a fan
He's
was
a
really.
groupie.
Oh,
Wow.
So it's like
Would
he.
you ever see like a celebrity dating a groupie? Really? No. They pass them to the homies. They have fun. They never take them serious.
Yeah.
Like,
So
but I don't see myself as celebrity really. So I was just like, oh well, I'm a normal person.
Yeah.
But so I ignored the fan comment. But he really just wanted bragging rights for the homies.
so I was gonna say, so
be
you think he
honest.
saw it as like a trophy?
Like, yeah, for real, I do.
Well, you should be honored.
No, like to boost his confidence, like
Yeah.
an ego boost for him.
That's a first place trophy though.
Yeah, Loki, this is a trophy right here. Let's give a clap to Gabriella.
Oh,
She's
that's
fucking dope.
Don't pity me.
I know.
Anyways, my feelings weren't hurt. I'm just like, okay, dating, I'm good. Like, no one really does it for me. Then there's people playing games like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was younger too. I think he was like 27.
So how do you navigate the balance between maintaining your privacy and still being able to form genuine connections?
I'm still adjusting to it. It's weird because you know you think when you do a reality TV show and you put yourself out there like that, it's like, well, everyone's already seen everything,
Yeah.
you know, and your privacy immediately gets taken away by people that don't know you, weren't there during filming, but have all these opinions, right? So I feel like since the show came out, I've actually become more private. Like last year, I was dating someone who was also on reality TV, and like an article came out about it, and I was like, damn, like it's kind of weird. Like not everyone needs to know who I'm fucking. Because essentially, it's like, oh, they're dating. It's like, okay, now they know about this, and if it doesn't work out, and I'm dating someone else, and there people are gonna be keeping track of my body count.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've become like a lot more private. Like I don't really post my family on my Instagram anymore like I used to. I think I even went back and deleted a bunch because I don't want people looking into my family who have nothing to do with like my decision to go on reality TV.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of trolls out there.
There's so many people. There's like private investigators, like regular people that just know their way around the internet, just trying to look up anything on you. So I've become a lot more private. With work, like when I walk onto a new yacht and I'm meeting the whole crew, I'm always like, oh fuck, I hope they don't watch the show, because people make an assumption about people that go on that show, and they're gonna treat me based on what they think about the people that go on it. So I'm always like, oh, I hope they don't know. I hope they don't know. And most people pretend like they don't, but then they'll be like, weren't you on the show? And I'm like, fuck, because then I have to try to prove to them that I'm serious about my job and I'm not the person they saw on the show that I filmed 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm working double time to change anyone's preconceived notions about me instead of just focusing on my job. You know what I mean? So I'm still adjusting and learning, and the more and more seasons come out, the more and more people are forgetting that I exist, which is nice because I'm like, phew. But like right in the beginning too, I was paranoid when I would go out.
You mean go out just in
Like
public?
go party, like go out, yeah, in public, like especially when I was still drinking, because I'm like, because you know, when I drink, I go balls to the wall. I'm small and I drink like a man, so I'll black out for sure. And I'm just like, oh my god, are there gonna be videos of me? The whole next day, I'm like, fuck, did someone catch that on camera? What did I do? What did I say? Is it gonna end up on like Showbiz cheat sheet, like an article about how I got sloppy somewhere? Like I was real paranoid for like the first 6 months. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still an adjustment though.
So you kind of answered that a little bit already, but like, what is it like for you when like you're in the spotlight versus when you're in the public eye when you're dating? I know you kind of mentioned like you're happy that like it's kind of slowly dying down,
Like the spotlight is
Yeah.
being taken off. Well, you kind of you think more about the type of person you're dating, I think. Like, am I proud of the person I'm with, or is this just like a jump off? Am I going to be embarrassed? Because you know when you date people sometimes or hook up with someone and you're like, oh, what was I thinking? You're like,
We've been there.
Yeah.
Oh
you're like,
man.
oh, I could have done without that one.
Yeah.
You know? And you're like embarrassed. I think it's more of like, how does this person represent me? Because the people that you date are a reflection of you, right?
100%.
So you think about it more, which is a good thing. You know, like, do I want this person to represent me? What type of person is this is? So,
Do you also think about like, are they capable of representing me? Because you're in a different kind of spotlight.
Right.
You know, it's like that spotlight. Whoever you're with, you bring them into that, and it's like, I feel like I kind of think like, oh, are they okay with knowing that you know some random person might hit you up and shit on you just for the simple fact you're like with me? You know, how do you what do you think about that?
I do. Like the last person I dated publicly was last year, and that was the one that the article came out about. And yeah, I thought about that a lot, but I think it was different because he had also been on TV, so he handled himself well. But it was like we were in our two little different public eye bubbles, you know, doing our own thing. But like to date someone that's not in entertainment, not an artist, like not a creative, like a regular person, I haven't really thought about it. Just that damn fan who shouldn't have gotten a chance
Yeah, that guy got lucky.
in the first place. Damn it. Whatever.
All right,
Not
happens to the best of
perfect.
us.
Yeah, I'm human, but I don't know. I haven't been dating. I'm along with the sobriety thing. I decided to be celibate as well.
Okay, awesome.
I like that.
Was that like a New Year's resolution or?
Not really. I think my phone just dried up, and I was like, well, it's been long enough. Might as well keep going.
We're sure the DMs are popping.
Yeah.
Look at her. There's no way.
There's no way.
I keep forgetting about DMs. It's like I don't take DMs seriously.
Uh,
Like I've
is too
DM'd
packed.
like hot celebrities, like hello, like they were gonna respond.
Oh, like you'll reach out to
Like I
celebrities?
have. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, it did work once.
Oh.
I did. Yeah.
So blue
You wanna
checks
talk-
only.
You want to talk
Yeah,
about
blue
it?
checks only. Oh, we could. No, he's a singer. He still is from New York.
Okay.
I DM'd him like this was like 2.5 years ago before I got into yachting, and we were like FaceTiming every day, talking on the phone for like 3 or 4 months. And then I went to New York and I met him, and then our first date lasted for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a good first
Yo,
one right
right?
there.
Yeah, no, it was real cool. But then I started yachting, and it took me away, and then it just it just fizzles out. Like how are you gonna maintain like a relationship
Yeah.
when you don't have time to be on the phone? You're never gonna see them. You don't know your schedule because you're at the mercy of the boat owner or the captain, right? So it kind of fizzled out. He started dating someone else for a year, and then when I got back to the States, he was like, "Well, hello," and I'm like, "Are you single again? Is that what's going on?" And he's like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "Well, let's see if something's still there." Like in my mind, and he invited me to New York for my birthday weekend.
Ooh.
Flew me out first class.
Damn, 2 weeks together and then flies her out. Like,
And he bought me a whole new wardrobe for like my birthday.
Wow.
Like took me shopping, took me all around New York. I saw more of New York in like 3 days than I had in the year I lived there.
Dang.
this guy set the bar here.
Yo, but I feel like that was just another fucking trick. So took me to New York, did all this grand gesture stuff. It was great. Chemistry was still there. Everything was still good. I got home, and then he was in New York, so I mean LA. So I went to LA, saw him, another 3-day weekend, amazing. And then he ghosted me. Bro,
Damn.
I don't know what it is about them, what their problem is. Anyways, that's why another reason.
I'm sorry. I didn't know guys were out here ghosting.
That's
like
what
that.
I'm-
Like, you need to have some balls to tell her how you feel. You know what I'm saying? That's weird.
Well, you know, I was still kind of like struggling with my own shit, like between work and like my drinking. I really wanted to stop, but I was still kind of out of control. So that could have something to do with it because he's also a public figure. He's also an artist, and he's probably like, "How's she representing me?" Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can admit that, but like after that, I really did like him. So I was bummed, like for real, like for real, for real. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna work on myself and just not date.
Yeah.
And with the celibacy thing, it's like I want to get to know people before I get intimate with them.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
respect that.
Like really get to know people because I don't want to share myself with someone that's just trying to get an ego boost. And then for what, you know?
Right.
I don't want to do that no more. So life's great.
Dang. So, anyone listening trying to date Gabriella, she's kind of not on the market right now.
I'm in a relationship with myself.
Oh, there you go. There
DMs
you
won't
go.
work.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna be talking to yourself. I think our networks are totally different, but like whenever I see, like I've always been like a networker. I'm a really sociable person. But whenever I see like a new show come out on Bravo and I see another like biracial person or like black person on one of those shows, I always DM them. Like, I saw you, rooting for you, you know?
Support.
And so like, you know, I basically I reach out to all the black people. Like,
That's what's up. Hey.
I really do. And like, and I'm not using any of them for clout or I don't think they are for me, but it's like, hey, support system. Like we both been on the same network. We know what we go through. Like what you're doing is great. You're representing a whole group of people on this network, you know? So I reach out with no shame, but I low key hope that they're not like, was she just trying to stay relevant? Or like, but I get good responses. Like I don't know. I keep up with the shows. I like reality TV. So I'm just like, hey, saw you. Like, stay strong if you ever need to talk to someone. You know what I mean?
I don't know about you, Juan, but there's not a lot of black people in yachting, and you literally did a whole show about yachting. So how was it representing the black community on the show?
It was an honor, really, but to be honest, it was a lot of pressure as well because on my season, I was the first black woman on that franchise, and the only Mexican and black and Mexican, and the first queer person too. So I had like 3 communities to represent at once, plus do my job and do it well, and then plus, you know, you have to get on with your castmates and production crew, and it was a lot, but like. You know, the show exposed a lot of people to the yachting industry, but because it was predominantly white the whole time, like black folks didn't really watch the show, didn't ever heard of it, didn't know, you know, yachting was a thing. And then they, you know, I get a lot of messages from black, indigenous, people of color from all around the world all the time. Like, I saw you on the show. It was so nice to see someone that looked like me on there. I didn't know that you could work on a yacht. Like, how do I get into it? Or I saw you on the show and now I want to become a yachty. How do I start? And like, so that is a nice reminder, like, of why I did it in the first place.
Yeah.
Because I knew that it was going to mean something to someone. So whether I had a good time or like a hard time on the show, when I get those messages, I'm like, oh, right, that's what I did it for. Even if there's just one person in the audience that related to me, that was enough. Or it's one person who I inspired or helped, like that was enough. But it's like, yeah, it was an honor. Like, okay, but a lot of pressure.
Yeah. No, I definitely can't imagine. Just you being a black person in yachting, what do you think were the biggest challenges for you that you were facing?
Well, there's not a lot of representation in like media, and I'm talking about like advertisements, yachting magazines, yacht crew, uniform catalogs. Like, so
it's all white people.
It's all white people plastered everywhere, like in like Dock Walk magazine, yachting magazine, anything that has to do with yachts in the magazines, it's just white people. So, you know how we grow up, like that's white people shit. Like I grew up like that, like thinking, oh, that's white people stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and not seeing anyone represented from my culture when I was doing my research before I got into yachting, I was like, oh, it's for white people. Like, I'm not gonna be able to get in. And I used to host my own podcast about yachting, and when I was looking for like thumbnail photos or something to like post, and I would Google like yachting, and I couldn't find not one picture of a person of color on a yacht anywhere. You know, so like I was like, you know what, this needs to change. So it was always in the back of my mind when I got hired, because we do phone interviews, and then when I get there and the vibe changes, I'm like, oh, they thought I was white.
All right, so Gabby, do you have any tips for anyone who's trying to date in the public eye?
Have any advice? Don't date a fan.
We heard that one.
Don't date a groupie. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know about dating apps either, because people Google you, right? Like some people Google you if you match on a dating app. Like, I'd just say be observant. Watch the way someone moves, how they act around you. Like, are they really being themselves, or are they trying to impress you because they think you're a celebrity? You know what I mean?
Because you can't really tell too much off of just their social media profile or anything.
No, you can't. You can't. And you don't know if people are just using you to get more followers or whatever either. Which is
So getting back into everything, we kind of talked about the dating side of things and everything. But how has the fame impacted the way people outside of the dating life, like how they interact with you, like with friends, family, things like that?
Well, my family, they are not impressed easily, so they're normal. My nephew, like, barely follows me on social media. I literally like look at him sometimes like, do you tell your friends that you have a famous tia? But I'm like, nah, he doesn't. Like, they're not like, I'm just Gabby. I'm just me. I'm the same person I've always been.
How about with friends?
Well, that's another thing. Most of my friends are in the entertainment industry. Like,
Were they always though?
yeah,
Okay.
like, see, that's another thing. I just always end up hanging around other creatives. Like, one of my best friends is a stylist. We've been best friends since high school. He works for Fenty, like Rihanna. I have a girlfriend who's a model and an actress, and I see her on TV sometimes. I'm like, oh, she's there. You know what I mean? Like, so they're all the same, super supportive. But
Yeah, but like, what about because you have some friends who obviously they're not on TV. You know, they don't have fame. Maybe they're in a good job, but they're not in the public eye. It's like, did they kind of treat you differently as you like got bigger, or were they just chill?
no. I do feel like I have a fairly small circle, and they're people that I've known for over 10 years. Like, these are like my brothers and sisters at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sometimes they'll roast me a little bit, like make fun of me, like, oh, sorry, forgot you were famous, or they make fun of like my dance videos, or be like, how come you never tag me when you post me because you don't want to give me some followers? And I'm like, shut up.
Oh, I hate that.
But they're joking. That's their way of like making fun of me and still acknowledging like, yes, we know you're famous. And when when the show was airing, all my friends had like viewing parties, and they'd post like, watching my girl on TV tonight. So everyone's really,
Oh, that's nice.
like, really supportive, but like they don't treat me any different. You know what I mean? At all.
What I was going into is like, we follow each other for a bit, and I have seen you vocally talk about some things that you deal with like mentally. And do you have friends that reach out to you because of that, or do you still feel like you have to reach out to them to be like, hey, check on me?
To be honest, like lately, no. Like my sister and my mom, like the family. But also I think like with the whole thing, when I told you I've become more private as well, I just feel like when I'm down and out, I don't really want to reach out to people and tell them. Like, sometimes I don't want to talk to people unless I'm feeling positive. And if I'm like in a dark hole, in a dark space, I don't want to call. And I always feel like a burden. Like, I don't want to call anyone and drag them down.
But that's a friend's responsibility
But
to
for
reach
real,
out to you.
a lot of people have fallen off last year. Like, last year was probably like the worst year of my life. One of them. There's been a few. No, but like, not because of the friends kind of disappearing, but just like personal stuff that was going on. But like, when I actually take the time to think about it, I'm like, damn, like, no one called me. No one, how are you doing? Like, they know my struggles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And no, I don't feel like a lot of people showed up for me last year, especially with the aftermath of the show. I was going through it. I was going through it. And like, no, I didn't really get that.
I feel like a lot of people just don't understand what it's like when you have so many randoms coming at you, and they'll say things like, oh, don't let them get to you, like, don't let them. But when you're getting hundreds of messages of like, you suck, and like, go to hell, like all that, like, eventually you're like, damn, like,
Yeah.
And even if you tell a friend what you're going through, some of them are gonna be like, just shake it off.
Or just ignore the comments.
But it's like, just check up.
I mean, I got a couple bad messages just being with you so far, and I'm like, damn, I can only imagine.
Someone literally, Juan is like one of the nicest people in the world, right? Our first pod that we came out with, this lady on TikTok was like, I hate both of you and your mom. we were just like, wait, Juan hasn't even said a word in this clip, and you already like mad at him. Didn't even know his name.
What did Juan's mom do?
No, it's my mom. It's all my mom. And I was like, well, dang. All right, then. It is what it is.
It's whatever. But
And your little dog, too.
Is what I'm saying.
You have gotten like some hate and stuff on the internet. Have you found a way to turn that into like motivation to make you keep going and be positive, things like that? Or?
I think that lately, since I slowed down with work and I stopped drinking, I went back to therapy, because I started to feel myself becoming bitter and like angry.
Because of social media, or
not just because of that, but like that has a lot, like, just all of the shitty things and I've seen about myself or read about myself or heard my old cast members say about me. I really started to internalize all of that, and I started to feel like angry and like bitter. Like I was like, this is unfair. You know what I mean? And I didn't really like how that was affecting me. And I want to say, like, since I've been home and like spending more time doing things I love, like dance.
Yeah.
And
Great dancer, by the way, y'all.
thank you. No, just dancing at home or like getting back into yoga and like I do arts and crafts. I forgot how much I love doing arts and crafts. Just like when I was a kid, like allowing my inner child to resurface, you know, and I've become like happier. I'm just more reflective, and like when I find myself like hating on someone, because I've never been a hater, but I know it's just a result of how much pain I've been through. I'll be like, I'll catch a thought like, damn, that's some hater ass shit. Why are you hating? You have nothing to be hating about.
Yeah.
Like your time is coming. Like there's a plan for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've just been more mindful of my own thoughts, and I am really motivated. Like my creativity is coming back. All my good ideas are coming back, and I have more energy now, and I'm just like, I'm motivated. Like,
That's good.
I don't know what's coming, but something is. Like, I am talented in so many different areas that I can literally do anything that I want.
Yeah.
Love that.
So it's just kind of like sorting out what is it that I really want to do and trying to manifest that, I guess you could say, or like
I love that.
make it happen.
We love a confident queen.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? No, honestly, I do feel like you've grown a lot in the past few months, and turning that negativity into a positive and still being able to look as like, you know, everything's okay. Like, F all these people at the end of the day. I think a lot of people forget, you know, I've seen comments where they're like, oh, because you're on TV, you are entitled to get insulted. You're entitled to feel like ass. And it's like, look, man, we're just regular ass people. And I think a lot of people forget, like, we still have the same hearts you do. We put our socks on the same way. You know, we just, yeah, we might get a little more love sometimes, but you trying to bring us down, it's, you wasting your time a lot, because we end up figuring it out, like, hey, we're going to be good with or without your support.
Facts.
But anyway, we want to thank you so much for being here today, Gabriella. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys for having me. It
Of
was
course.
fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we had a lot of good insight. But here at Coast to Coast, we just want y'all to know perspective is everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
West
guys.
Side?